So these dinosaurs were kind enough to be my audience again. This is my PowerPoint slides. These are my 2 note cards. I have 2, not 3. So when you think of Iceland, you may think of, big coats, cold weather, ice, snow, big furry boots, but there's a lot more to know about Iceland than, just thinking of how it's cold. I've learned a lot through extensive research and taking numerous classes involving international management. Iceland is similar to the US, but also very different. So learning these things will greatly benefit your trip and the business deal. A big thing to know is that their main language and the official language is called Icelandic. There will be many things that you need to consider about the people that you're doing business with, and that includes their language, religion, and education, but it's not limited to just those things. So the official language, like I said, is Icelandic. Everyculture.com says, while all people speak Icelandic, most also speak Danish and English. So that will greatly help you, because they will speak English to you and they will understand your English. Religion is also very important in Iceland. They're very religious there. They do not all attend church regularly. They don't all attend church regularly, but it is very important to them, and the churches are very, very important to them. Almost all people there are registered to a version of a Christian church, even though they don't attend. Mostly they attend once, twice a year, some people once a month or so, but most people do not attend regularly at all. So their education differs quite a bit actually from the US. There's only 2 levels of schooling that is mandatory, and the first one is preschool, which is 12 months old to 6 years old. And then after preschool comes compulsory education, which is 6 years old to 16 years old. And then after that, you do not have to go further through any schooling. So education is very important to them, and the people that are highly educated, it is very important to them. So the people you will be speaking with are educated, and it is something that they really thought was a great idea and that they wanted to do. The higher levels of education after compulsory school, well, even compulsory school and preschool, are of no cost. The only thing that will cost you is when you're in like their university level school, their colleges, it will cost for, like your food, your living situation, travel, things like that, but the actual schooling will be of no cost, which is really awesome. Everyculture.com says that education in Iceland is respected and considered a basic right. Many studies show the differences in cultural dimensions of different places, and that is really crucial to how you speak and how you treat people. Iceland is a feminine country, to the point of women can be in parliament and part of a clergy. So it really shows you that they really treat men and women equally, and they find them of equal value. They really value equality there. Iceland is very individualistic. They look after themselves and they look after their family, and that is their main concern. So this will really be important when doing business with them, because they don't want to know how it's going to help your business or you. They want to know how it's going to help them personally and their families personally. They want to know the benefits in that way, not the benefits towards the business. The employees and the employers, they're very self-reliant and they show a lot of initiative. Iceland is very realistic when it comes to uncertainty avoidance. They're very relaxed when taking risks, and it's not a huge deal when plans change suddenly to them. They know that things can change really suddenly. It's not a big deal. So if plans change, then you just need to let them know, so that you're not just running 45 minutes late and you just show up and you're like, oh, but it's okay. No, it's still not going to be, that's not polite, that's rude anywhere you go. So you'll still let them know, but they will be very relaxed if you call and you're like, oh, I'm running 5 minutes behind. I'm terribly sorry. I'll be there as soon as I possibly can. It won't be a huge deal. They know that things change. So I know that like a lot of this is, it's a lot to know, it's a lot to think about. But I have a couple specific things like do's and don'ts that will really, that you need to know. So people there are very fashionable, very fashion forward. It would be a really good thing to invest maybe in a couple items that are trendy and fashion forward to show that you also, you've done your research, you have looked into this. They're very laid back with their body language, just like the US. Obviously there's things that will be offensive, so don't do those things. Just like here in the US, you're expected to be on time. Like I said before, if you're running late, then just let them know. It's even acceptable to be like 10-15 minutes early so that you are not late. That way you are ready. When the meeting time is set, you are ready. You're not just getting ready still, you're not getting your things together. You're ready when the time has been set. Businessculture.org says throwing away food is very frowned upon. They will invite you to their home most likely. They love to do after dinners and things. So when doing that, be very conscious of that throwing away the food that you haven't finished or that you haven't eaten is very rude to them. You need to greet and leave every single guest with a strong handshake in meetings and at their homes. They value honesty, directness, and keeping your word. So, make sure everything you're saying is true and is direct. Don't try and, play any, games or tactics with them, because they very much so will be turned off and the business deal will very much so not happen. Like I said, I know this is a lot to learn and a lot to think about in a short time, but it will really maximize your results and the deal with the business, to know these things and to do even more research if you have time. So it's like your parents always said, treat others the way you want to be treated, and everything should go great. So good luck and safe travels.